and welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez, Stephen Johnson, and I'll tell you what, in this first segment we're going to talk about this weekend's fights. We actually had some good fights this weekend.
Some fantastic fights.
Had some names coming back up on the scene, and it was just one of them things to see who's going to continue on their quest and who's not. So, yep. Steve, why don't you start going back with the first ones that started early on the show with the I think it was Amir Khan and then Frampton and all that. But let's go ahead and start with that.
Yeah, let's start with the first one. That was it carried a little bit of a deeper thing to it. Amir Khan making his comeback. His first time fighting in England is in his own country. I think about 5 years.
His return period.
Yeah. Since Canelo destroyed him. So he was coming back and he was fighting Phil Lo Greco. Mm-hmm. And the hook with the Greco is they like to say that, Lo Greco held his own with Sean Porter, and that it took Earl Spence 3 rounds to get him. Okay, but what we know is that he fought Sean Porter 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he fought Earl Spence 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. All the fans wanted to see this because what this is, radio, as you know, it's the build up to Amir Khan and Kell Brook. That's what the deal is. But I'm going to say this right now, so that we can always say you can have me on record for this. The fight is not going to happen in 2018 like Eddie Hearn was intimating that it would, because they're going to have a catch weight. Amir Khan was very, very adamant yesterday. He said, "I'm a welterweight fighter." And if you remember when Kell Brook fought Earl Spence, after he lost, one of the first things he said is that I had too tough a time making welterweight. I'm moving up to junior welterweight, okay, or light middleweight. And now I can see now that that's what Khan is going to try to make him lose weight and fight that. But hopefully Eddie Hearn will make him see the light and say, hey, we'll just do a catch weight at 150. If they do a catch weight at 150, there's no way that Kell Brook can turn that down. And Kell Brook, I would like to see him go ahead and smash his little face again. I mean, it's no secret.
Well, I don't think any of them have any titles, right?
No.
Brook. Yeah, so there's no such thing as catch weight. Okay. The only time you have a catch weight is when it's for a title and you want to go in between that max weight. Okay. So in other words, if you're fighting welterweight, then it's 47 for that particular bout. But if you want to come down to 45 to make both fighters go at 45, then it's a catch weight. But in a regular fight, you can make a fight for any weight you want. You can make it at 51,
but
52,
we would still
53.
call it as a catch weight. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
I'm saying that, yeah, they 150.
But too many people get into that term catch weight, and then it gets into negativity. Well, you can fight at any weight you want to, if there's nothing on the line. Yeah. Okay,
and I'm telling you right now,
yeah,
Amir Khan's gonna make a big deal about this, because I'm telling you, that's the first thing I saw is this dude said I'm a welterweight fighter. So he's just letting Kell Brook know, if you want to fight me. But Eddie Hearn is the one who said, he's from Matchroom Boxing.
Yeah.
He said, hey, we're gonna make that fight happen. But I don't think it's gonna happen if it does in 2018, because Khan was too adamant about what his demand is gonna be.
Well, and the thing about it, well, going back to the fight, Khan actually did look real good. Okay,
come on, man! In 39 seconds, how can he look good?
Because he came in aggressively. He came in. He knew what was in front of him. Okay, I'm not saying he is good. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm saying he looked good, because that's what happens when you put the right opponent in front of a person. Okay?
Exactly.
So that's what happened. He knew who he had in front of him, and he knew the history. So this was an opportunity for him to get very aggressive. Don't wait. Don't worry about warming up. Just go in there and take this guy out, and it kind of puts him back in there, because now he put a guy out that went the distance with went a few rounds with Spence, and
5 years ago went the distance.
Yeah, but still on paper it starts to look good.
That's what I said.
It's the build up. Okay, so he did what he was supposed to do.
Well, moving from that, before we move, let me just say this. I was very interested in we've talked about it before. Body language says a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Amir Khan, after the fight, Kell Brook got up in the ring, and Amir Khan was doing all of his talk, but you can see in the background, and I've seen you do this before. Kell Brook was like this, trying to get his eye contact, trying to get that, and Amir Khan would have none of it. He looked the other way. He doesn't want nothing, man. He wants to try that.
I don't think that fight's going to happen. They can talk about it, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Amir Khan, I've yet to see him step up and fight someone that very competitive. But then, of course, money talks. Why would he fight Canelo? He knew he wasn't going to beat Canelo. Canelo was too big for him.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about millions of dollars, that goes a long way in providing for your family. So it's hard to pass that up.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move to the next fight. That was yesterday at the Echo Arena in Belfast, Northern Ireland, where you had Carl
the Jackal.
The Jackal Frampton.
The Jackal. Well, I like him.
Yeah, and he took on Nonito Donaire, and that was for the WBO interim featherweight title. Your impressions of the fight?
Well, you know what? I thought it was a good fight, even though it was one-sided. The Jackal, he went in there. Frampton did what he was supposed to do, and he outclassed. He looked better. He outscored. He was just the better fighter in the ring, and it kind of showed that Nonito is a small image of what he used to be. Okay. Yeah. I remember I was really high on Nonito when he took care of Walter. Remember when Walter was strong, man, the X-Man. And that was in the days when Walter was, coming strong, and Nonito took care of that. But now he's just a small portion of
a shell of what he used to be.
He used to be. I was going to say 100-Adrian Broner said beans and rice.
No, I don't even go there.
But anyway, but he did make the fight interesting because he did have a couple of rounds where he actually put it on Frampton and
Frampton admitted it.
Well, yeah, not too many fighters will do that.
Yeah.
Frampton did admit it, but I'll tell you what, I like the Jackal. He still has what it takes to dominate his division and keep going. So,
we have a name, Gary Russell Jr. We'll talk about that in
which one?
With Carl Frampton. We'll talk
Which
about
Gary Russell Jr.?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. There's about 8 of them, but it's Gary. I think it's just Gary Russell Jr.
Okay.
But anyway, just speaking of the fight, like I said, I thought that one thing that was a little bit, I don't know, man. Maybe I didn't pay attention to it too much, but Carl Frampton's kind of a little guy. Nonito just towered over him. That was kind of unusual to see. But Donaire, he's always taller than him, but it was extremely tough. But like you said, I think it was in the 7th round, then again in the 11th round, Donaire just breached in the.
Nonito had his.
He put it on him, man.
He had his rounds. Yeah, he had a couple of them. Yeah.
And like you said, to his credit, Carl Frampton, got him on, admitted that was the case.
But I was just then we'll go to the next one. But I was quick to say before the fight started that Nonito was probably done, and he had a fight, make money and go. But you know what? I think he's still in the mix. I think he can still be the gatekeeper in that.
Think so?
I think he can be the gatekeeper in that. You put someone that's 5-0, 6-0, 8-0, 9-0. Wanting to test their ability in the division, I think he'll test them real good. Yeah, he'll test them real good. So, but we got a couple of minutes, so go ahead. The next one.
Okay, well we got 1 minute, so let's get into. We'll talk more about this fight card that was at the Barclays Center in New York. Once again, man, the Barclays Center. I think there's pretty much no question right now. They made a big move.
It's taking over, man.
They really are.
They're taking over. The big interesting fights that people want to see are going to the Barclays Center. Was that New York?
Yes.
Ooh.
In Brooklyn.
They're making a move, man. They're making a move.
Are. And they started off that undercard with Gervonta Tank Davis, and it was I don't know.
Well, we got 30 seconds here, so let's continue this in the second segment because we have 3 fights that we want to talk about. On that.
You want to talk about Tank Davis in the second segment? We only got 19 seconds.
Yeah, let's talk about Tank, Jamal, and of course Adrian Broner.
I would prefer to say let's talk about Tank and Jamal, and let's talk about Jesse Vargas.
I know how you feel about Adrian, and I'm kind of the same way, but But you know, all in all, you got to give Broner credit. So, guys, we're going to come back and talk about that card because it was actually a Premier Boxing put on a pretty decent card of names that are focusing on the scene. You know, the Charlo brothers, Tank, Gervonta, and then of course
Jesse Vargas.
Jesse Vargas.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We've ended this segment. We'll be back with our second segment in a minute. Go freshen your coffee. We'll be right back. And in the meantime, keep them hands up, baby.